Fresh Start Initiative, a program in place that can help you now. If you qualify, you can save thousands. Call about the government program designed to help you and call Oxford Tax, the Fresh Start experts. It's important that you take action before programs change. Call Oxford Tax at 800-549-8040. 800-549-8040.
This is KWAM. And now, here's the Mary Beth Conley Show, a radio program that features discussions to help you expand your horizons, believe in your dreams, and live life large. Now, here's your host, Mary Beth Conley.
And hello, everybody. Happy Monday. It's Million Dollar Monday with Renee Kennedy, AAALifesolutions.com, and we are going to talk coronavirus and pandemics in general, and what we might learn for our finances. Is it time to panic? The market certainly doesn't seem to be, although it lost a lot last week. But the question for our expert is the amount that it lost last week proportionately is sort of small compared, right? So maybe it didn't lose that much. Point is, stay right there because your money may be affected by this. It certainly is something to watch. You're listening to Million Dollar Monday on FM 107.9 and AM 990, KWAMthevoice.com, and we will be right back.
Now, here's your Mid-South weather forecast from the News Channel 3 Severe Weather Center and Todd Demers, right here on KWAM The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Here's your forecast from News Channel 3. Cloudy skies with isolated showers and northerly winds returning behind our latest cold front. Temperatures in the 50s this morning will end up in the 40s by later this evening. Still a chance for rain overnight, but mainly south of I-40. Temperatures will be back into the 40s for your Tuesday with heavy rain returning on Wednesday. I'm News Channel 3's Todd Demers. On The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Moms, are you pregnant and ready to quit smoking? Baby and Me Tobacco Free is a program offered through the Shelby County Health Department that helps moms quit smoking during pregnancy and provides them with free diapers for up to 12 months if they remain tobacco free. Quitting smoking is the best thing that you can do for the health of you and your baby. The biggest reason to quit is the smallest. For more information on the Baby and Me Tobacco Free program and other tobacco cessation resources, call the Shelby County Health Department at 901-222-9268. KWAM, the Voice of Memphis, celebrates Black History Month. This month we highlight Mid-South African Americans whose sacrifices and achievements are continuing to make a difference in our community, like Honorable Bernice Donald. Donald was born in DeSoto County, Mississippi, but is no stranger to Tennessee. She received a Bachelor of Arts degree from Memphis State University and a Juris Doctor from Memphis State University School of Law. Judge Donald went on to become the first African American woman in the history of the United States to serve as a bankruptcy judge. And in 1982, she was elected to the General Sessions Criminal Court, where she became the first African American woman to serve as a judge in the history of the state of Tennessee. Donald is currently a judge in the United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit. She works with Leadership Memphis and is the co-founder of the For Life program, which teaches life skills to young adults. KWAM's Black History Month tribute is brought to you by
Dina Couch, Cry Like Southeast, 6705 Winchester Road, 901-260-5844.
Candid Conversations with Dr. Rich is on the air every Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on The Voice, and no topic is taboo.
You know, you have a problem. You have a man in your life, but you have a problem with your friend dating your ex, actually contemplating marriage, and you find yourself having a problem with that.
Candid Conversations with Dr. Rich, Sunday afternoons at 2 p.m. right here on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
The Mary Beth Conley Show on KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
And hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. It's Million Dollar Monday here on FM 107.9 and AM 990 on the dial. KWAMthevoice.com for everyone everywhere else. Renee Kennedy brings you every week million Monday. Her website is AAALifesolutions.com. Her number, 901-508-2433, and she actually answers her phone. So that's, you always, that's kind of a,
Or
what
text.
do you call it?
Texting
Is really good, because then we have a visual,
That's right.
visual cue.
Yeah, for sure.
I always tell people, text me, because otherwise I'll forget what you said.
Yeah.
And John Wright, back in the house, the author of one of the, I'm holding it up for Facebook, so if you want to go to Facebook Live at the KWAM The Voice page, this is one of the all-time great titles. You know nothing about picking stocks, and that's okay. Thank you for
Absolutely.
making it okay, because I don't know that I'll ever know anything about picking stocks, but with you in our corner, we don't have to, right?
Absolutely.
John is our stock picking guy for our team at AAA Life Solutions, and I trust him. And so that for those of you who are looking for some guidance on what to do, what to buy, what to sell, John is the guy on our team that helps us with that.
And
so,
who isn't? Because where the market is everybody is like, oh my gosh, I can't miss out any longer. If
Right.
they haven't been in it in a big way, it just keeps going up, up, up.
Does.
Where are we now?
High,
Actually,
high, very high.
record. We keep breaking records.
Yeah.
However, we keep hearing pandemic.
Yeah.
The coronavirus, which, is a great name for a virus, makes you want to go cut some limes. But it's a serious, serious disease. So, where do we start? Should people be concerned about pandemic status? What does a pandemic typically do to the market, or do we even know?
Well, what we know is
That's like 4 questions. in
yeah,
one.
exactly.
You like that?
Exactly. Well, of course, I want to go back to the title of the book. We know nothing. We know nothing about pandemics. We know nothing about the impact on the market of a pandemic.
Yeah, because there hasn't been one really.
It's been a
has
long
there?
time. So many people are familiar with the Spanish flu from 1918. That
From
was a long
watching
time
Downton
ago.
Abbey. That's
There you
that's
go.
most people's
There you
familiarity
go.
with it.
There have been a couple of minor ones since then. In the 50s and 60s, we had a Hong Kong flu. It might have killed 1 million people,
Okay.
which is obviously a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you count them individually. On a world scale, it doesn't disrupt things as much. So it's really been the Spanish flu, and it's a long time ago.
And in those days, we didn't hear about it 24/7 either. Isn't it the
Right.
fear of a pandemic that's almost the bigger problem?
Well, there
For
are
the market?
There are multiple problems for the potential problems for the market, and so
Okay.
far the market has been amazingly resilient in face of what can be very scary headlines, and not just headlines. The more you read, the more scared you become.
Yeah, because it's
unfortunately.
uncertainty that tricks the market out, right?
Yes, there's a lot of uncertainty about the flu itself, and then the flu's impact on the economy, and then the economy's impact on the market. So there's multiple stages here of uncertainty.
Great.
Um,
We really don't know what's going on.
we really don't, and that is part of the key to being a good investor, is recognizing that ignorance. But we can talk a little bit about the flu itself and what we do know and
Okay.
don't know.
All right.
Hopefully people won't be too freaked out, because certainly we don't want people to panic with their decisions with their money.
Right.
That usually when you panic, you're making the wrong decision.
Right. So when you look at it, what do you pay attention to with regard to the potential pandemic?
So the flu itself, the
coronavirus.
coronavirus
yes.
itself. Well,
Yes.
I tend to
With
look
regard to the market and its
Yeah,
effect.
so I am very distrustful of the numbers out of China. They have a history of manipulating numbers, and there's a lot of anecdotal evidence and smuggled out videos and things that suggest that they might be underreporting the significance of the virus.
Okay.
when
So you
sh-
think more people may have died?
I
many
do.
more.
I do. Obviously I'm not an expert in that area, but when you shut down, when you quarantine
A
60
city.
million plus people,
Yeah, I did kind of
there's
wonder
something
about that.
serious going on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When you can build several hospitals in 2 days, that tells
yes.
you how serious it is.
Absolutely. Normally
Yeah.
we wouldn't build a hospital for a minor problem.
Right.
You know,
Right.
You shut down the school, you open up the gymnasium, and you throw a bunch of beds in there, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
they are acting. So there's what they're saying, which has a history of not being trusted, and then there's what they're actually doing, which is more concerning than what
Okay.
they're saying.
However, because they're doing all that, should that make us feel a little confident that maybe it won't spread because they are taking such measures, or or do you think they're just saying that they're taking?
Well, no, the jury is out on whether their actions are effective. A lot of people say that quarantining is not very effective, only because you're putting people in tight quarters with other people, right? So entire families are becoming sick instead of it's changing who's getting sick, but the numbers are going up significantly. Even outside of the U.S., the numbers are still outside of China, the numbers are still very small. But if you track them daily, they're going up about 15% a day. And the question is, how long will this continue to escalate? 15% a day can become serious if...
And you're talking about outside of China.
Outside of China, right? Because we don't trust the Chinese numbers. But if you look at outside of China, it's growing about 15% a day. And the good news is the flu season will pass.
True.
Right?
So it might
it's kind of a
slow
race
down.
against the clock. I mean, at 15% a day, that sounds pretty serious. The number of cases outside of China is still low enough that even at 15% a day, a month from now, you're still talking in the tens of thousands.
And
so
even
not a worldwide run.
Even though flu season is over, has it been that closely connected virally to the flu that
It is
we
a flu.
even know?
It's a strain of the flu.
It's a strain.
Yes.
So we know that flu season, it might be over.
Well,
when
what
flu
typically
season is.
happens is the flu is never over completely.
Well,
it
no,
migrates around
Right.
the world,
Right.
and so it goes to South America for the winter, hanging out, right? And then sometimes it changes while it's hanging out, gets a tan or something, and it comes back in a slightly different form. Sometimes a deadlier form, sometimes more benign.
Are there, so you're watching numbers, 15% is not, it doesn't have you freaked out completely, but it's high.
It's high. It's
Are
serious.
you also watching where it morphs? Like, I don't want to slam any particular country, but I was not particularly concerned when a case cropped up, I think, last week in India. Even though it's the most populous country in the world, I just sort of feel like, well...
What about the cruise ship,
we-
that's off the
yeah.
coast of
Yes.
Japan?
Can you imagine being
And-
on that thing?
oh my
God.
Well, it's a death machine.
Yes,
right? They
they're
just
gonna
we
cost.
saw this morning.
Yeah.
They just found 66 more cases on that ship.
Yeah,
because
so
they're all
they're not
breathing
gonna-
the same air in these close quarters. I
Exactly.
feel sorry for
They
the
shouldn't
people on
let
the
it
inside.
dock.
Yeah,
I mean, I hate to say that.
they need to
but-
put them on an island. Just put them on an island. Get them off that ship. I just want to scream and say, get them off the ship.
Will you be more concerned if it begins to be spread quickly in a country with advanced medical care? And
No.
that's what I meant about India. I don't
Yeah.
think of India as being a country with particularly advanced medical care, which may be completely wrong.
The virus does kill people regardless of your medical care. It does. There's some debate on what percentage. Some people say 2%. Some numbers suggest higher. But it does
So that's not a factor.
overwhelm our medical ability at this point in time.
Okay.
What concerns me the most about this virus is it can be transmitted before symptoms show.
Yes.
And that makes it almost impossible to
Right.
stop,
To contain it.
to contain it to
Right.
any one location.
Right.
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 It's going to make its rounds, and it is going to kill people in other countries. I'd be surprised if there are no deaths in this country. But as people are quick to point out, the flu itself kills
Well, true.
10 to 40,000 people in this country every year.
True.
So we shouldn't be freaked out that when the first death happens if it happens in this country.
I was told it had happened last week that an American
An American
died.
in China,
Oh, they were in China.
they were
okay.
in Wuhan,
I was sick with a
Yes.
different virus last week. So.
in the lack of sleep virus.
Yes, I do not have coronavirus. So, are
But the-
there? Okay, go ahead.
So there are clearly serious medical issues here. We just have to accept that, right?
Yeah.
There are going to be people who are going to die. We don't want that to happen, but we're powerless to stop it. It is going to make its rounds, and it may make its rounds here. We can take prudent precautions. Not that there are that many you can do against
Right.
pandemic. As a matter of
Right.
fact, this morning, as I was thinking about this topic, I remembered that once upon a time, about 6 or 7 years ago, I actually I organized a preparedness
seminar or workshop?
It was a
A fair?
a preparedness fair that we did,
Oh,
and we probably had about 60 different booths, different topics.
yeah.
Pandemic was not one of them. Okay, this is not something that most people prepare for, and there's not a lot to say about it. You know,
Yeah.
go out and get your N95 mask, which
Yeah.
traps
Yeah.
95% of particulates, which are, by the way,
You-
pretty
you-
much sold out worldwide
you
now.
can't even find them. I got
You can.
Patriot Supply. Where?
eBay,
Oh, eBay.
$50 per
Okay.
disposable mask.
Okay.
$50.
So Patriot
Oh.
Supply, they are running out of stuff every
Yeah.
2 days. They're having to replenish.
Wow.
Patriot Supply is like a preparedness company, and they happen to be. They have a 25-year shelf life. But even Steve was saying this weekend, he goes, we really ought to, check our emergency preparedness, because what if we get quarantined? And
Right.
you think about, okay, can you live in your house for 3 months
Good
with
for
what
him.
you have?
Good for him. Think of that. Of course, his
Yeah.
company is a disaster relief company,
It
so he
is.
thinks about
Yeah.
disasters more than
Yeah.
most people.
But like you said, it's kind of like, okay, you may not can get the mask, but are you being so what industries, let's get back to
Yeah.
the stock market. So
Yeah.
what industries besides preparedness has been affected by positively and negatively
And
by
is it too
this
late to buy
virus?
stock in a preparedness
Y-
company?
the good news about how slow this market seems to be to reacting to this threat is it's not too late if the threat turns out to be bigger than what
Gotcha.
most people assume right now.
Okay.
So in terms of industries, 2 weeks ago, I held Norwegian Cruise Lines.
Oh.
Okay, I got rid of that stock.
Good.
Just in time.
As soon
huh?
as I probably lost a
Incubator
little
on the
bit, but
sea.
as soon as this Corona news started coming out, I'm like, okay, what industries are going to suffer? People are not going to want to travel, so anything travel related, airlines,
Yeah.
right?
Cruises.
Hotels,
Yeah.
cruises, even something. Now in this country, it hasn't hit here yet, and so dining has not been hit hard. But if it hits here, then dining is going to be hit, right?
Sure.
Anything that brings people together in an enclosed area,
Theater, tickets,
theaters,
sports
yeah,
events.
Can I buy stock in staying in my house?
yeah.
That'll be a big one.
You can actually. It's called like gaming companies. I mean, but you have to think creatively.
Netflix.
Right?
Netflix. yeah.
Netflix. There you
Binge
go.
watch Netflix.
Exactly. You have to think creatively. What would happen, and go 3 steps forward. What would happen if this became a significant issue?
So we mentioned that the market lost about 600 points a
week ago
not
Friday.
last week,
Yeah.
a week ago.
Yeah.
Was that related to
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Okay. But that's not a lot with this
No.
market being so high, right?
It's not, and there. So let me go back to the industries for a second, if
Okay.
I could, because there are specific industries that will suffer directly, such as the travel-related industries, the congregating together industries,
Makes sense.
and then there are the secondary effects. So we've been talking so far on the show mostly about the disease itself, but China's response to the disease is probably creating a bigger event from a investment standpoint. Well, when you shut down a significant portion of your country, there are consequences to that, right? So imagine in this country if we said, okay, everybody in California, we're shutting down all the highways, no more air traffic, nothing leaves California.
Okay.
Would that have an impact? I don't
Yeah.
know. Price of avocados would probably go up.
Yeah.
Or whatever
Yeah.
I mean, lemons.
Well, and
or,
what is their
yeah.
GDP compared to the whole United
it's
States?
like a seventh of
yeah,
the country.
It's a lot.
Right? So that's
Okay.
essentially what's happened in China. And it's made worse by the fact that China is the engine of the world. It's responsible for all of the growth in the world economy, and it's the supply chain of the world, right?
Manufacturing. And all that.
Manufacturing.
Mhm.
So here's when the market reacts. And this is, I don't know, some kind of statement on the effect of Apple and how much people love their iPhones. But the market reacts to whether or not the assembly plants in China for the iPhone are going to shut down or stay open. That nothing else
If
matters.
that
The
happens-
pandemic doesn't matter.
Wow.
It doesn't, but this morning those factories were scheduled to open,
Okay.
and there were a couple of announcements that came out. One came out saying yes, it's going to open. The futures market went up, and then they say, oh no, the local authorities have shut it down. That factory is not opening. Oh, market went down. Okay, it's all
Really?
reacting to Because people recognize that if the supply chain is disrupted in China, nothing gets to this country, nothing happens. It affects the entire world. It's not just, I mean, the iPhone is a little bit of a proxy for that, but
it's enough of one.
But it affects every company has outsourced to China. So years ago, when I used to work for AutoZone, they have these quarterly open forums, go through the results, question and answer period, and only one time did I ever ask a question to the CEO, Bill Rhodes, and my question was, highly relevant to this discussion, my question was, Bill, we source almost everything we have from China. What's the backup plan if anything ever goes wrong with the supply chain coming out of China?
For all the things that we need to make what
Which
we
is
make.
everything, right? So
Yeah.
the auto parts, they come from China, right? That's where they come from. So his response was, well, John, I got to tell you, if that supply chain ever got disrupted, we've got bigger problems to worry about. The whole world has got a problem.
It's going to shut down.
Effectively. Yeah. So he's like, we have no backup plan because we don't need one. Everyone's on the same schedule. Everyone's relying on the same supply chain. Up. Everyone will be screwed up. Yeah.
Yeah. I have people ask me all the time, so what happens if the government goes default? And I'm like, well, we got bigger problems than what you're investing your money in. You need water, you need, sugar, flour, whatever, but you've got to have a backup plan. And a lot of these people, a lot of these companies in the United States, I don't want to say that they never saw this coming, but to this extent, I really think they've been blindsided by it.
The issue is every company has to be competitive. And the only way they could stay competitive from a cost structure standpoint is all go to China. Yeah. And so that's what they all did. And they didn't have backup plans. So they want to concentrate their bets, and they did. They all bet on China. And if China can reopen their factories very quickly, then this will pass and they'll catch up and not a big issue. But they were supposed to be reopening factories this morning, and
that didn't happen.
They're not. They went back and forth. I think ultimately they opened that one iPhone factory, but rumor has it they've got about 10% of the workforce there. So it's, quote, open, but not producing the way it's going to have to.
And only 10%? That's...
The people in China are afraid. This is all they talk about throughout the whole country right now.
Yeah.
Do you think that's one of the, of course, I don't know, maybe China has a history of lying to the world, but do you think that's one of the reasons why maybe they're not being completely transparent about how many people are affected, because they know the impact on the global economy?
No, because they know the impact on their own jobs, right? The stability of their system depends on people having confidence that they can manage the economy. And so if they were to report the true numbers, it's partly what the outside world thinks, but it's also partly maintaining what they call social stability, right? That they can't, if they are open and honest about this, people will be up in arms. Yeah. Some credible estimates suggest numbers that are at least 10 times the reported figures that are coming out of China right now.
Boy, that's not good.
No, and that's more consistent with, again, going back to the people in the know. What are they doing? Mm-hmm. Well, they're shutting down entire segments of the country.
Right. I saw Steve Mnuchin this morning on one of the news channels, and he was saying they were asking him what President Trump was going to do. China just got rid of the tariffs on our stuff because they needed more food coming in, I guess.
Yeah,
right.
And so
and I was
he was
just
saying,
going to ask about the
and so then they were asking him,
war.
so is President Trump going to do the same for China? And he said, no, that's in phase 2. So we have no...
They're desperate.
Yeah, they are desperate for them to not have the tariffs on our stuff going into China.
So let's talk about that when we come back, how this has played out, and more importantly for that person out there who's listening and is now like, well, damn.
Freaked out. Yeah, exactly. Don't freak
John
out
says
during the
don't
commercial.
Panic.
Do not log into your online broker and sell your stocks in the break. Wait until we have a full discussion.
Well, and quite frankly, I'm kind of freaked out, but I'm not worried about my investments now. I'm sort of thinking, wow, this could be...
Memphis has a huge Chinese population, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of people from China here. So It could happen.
I mean, all I'm taking from this first segment is I need to sell everything, and we're all going to die. There we go.
I need to go in my house and shut the door.
Well,
Because, we
build
do
a
happen
safe
to have
room.
a really large global company based in Memphis. So, I mean, what cities might be the
Every
most?
city. But what you should be doing is during the break, go in the bathroom and wash your hands. Okay, that could be actually helpful.
Yes.
Don't touch your face. Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
keep it up for 2 full minutes, warm water and soap.
Yeah.
Sing
Sing
the
happy
ABC
birthday.
song,
Yeah.
right? Or happy birthday or whatever we used to teach our children. We
Yeah.
will be right back. John, give your website again.
Yeah, stellar-assets.com.
Thank you very much. Stellar-assets.com and AAALifeSolutions.com. So go there and then go in the bathroom and wash your hands. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with more of the Mary Beth Conley Show on KWAM The Voice.
KWAM, the voice of Memphis, celebrates Black History Month. This month, we highlight Mid-South African-American men and women whose sacrifices and achievements are continuing to make a difference in our community, such as Dr. Angela Askew, one of Binghamton's finest, a servant leader. Dr. Askew grew up in South Memphis and graduated from Hamilton High School. She attained her master's degree from University of Memphis and her doctorate degree from Freed-Hardeman University. She wanted to give back to her community through education and instill in children that they can achieve whatever they want to through hard work. 7 years ago, she accepted the opportunity to come to W.H. Brewster in Binghamton, and every day she makes a big difference with our future leaders. Thank you, Dr. Askew, for your service to the Memphis community. KWAM's Black History Month tribute is brought to you by
Laquitha welcomes you home today at Crowlike Southeast. Call Agent Laquitha Williams today at 901-260-5844.
For expert service guaranteed, call 866-EXPERTS.
That number could save you up to 30% on your energy bill. When you call today, Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning can hook you up with seasonal maintenance. And right now, save $20 on seasonal maintenance. Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning, your hometown Memphis tune-up pros.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
Visit ServiceExpertsMemphis.com. See website for license details.
Did Jesus promise to return within the first century generation? Discover why atheists, Muslims, Jews, and even some Christians believe that Jesus is a liar and the Bible is false. Join William Bell for discussion on the end times and Bible prophecy on the All Things Fulfilled Eschatology broadcast Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on KWAM 990 and FM 107.9. Listen on Facebook at KWAM The Voice.
When you shop Goodwill, you don't just bring home a vintage dress or cat lamp. You bring home so much good to your community because everything you buy funds local job training and more. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
KWAM, the voice of Memphis, celebrates Black History Month. This month, we highlight Mid-South African-American men and women whose sacrifices and achievements are continuing to make a difference in our community, like Memphis music trailblazer Lawrence Boo Mitchell. Thank you for your contributions to the Memphis music community.
Man, what a perfect day for a ball game. I'm starving. Where's that hot dog stand? Hey, what's that guy doing under the bleachers? Looks like he left a bag. Did he forget it? Am I just being paranoid? I don't want to scare the kids, but this just doesn't seem right.
Excuse me, officer. Someone just left a bag under the bleachers. We all play a role in keeping our communities safe. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities. If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York MTA.
The Mary Beth Conley Show on KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
And welcome back, everybody. It's Million Dollar Monday on the Mary Beth Conley Show, brought to you by AAA Life Solutions, website by the same name. Renee Kennedy is the founder of that company. It's like an umbrella company. There's dozens of colleagues that she works with that help you in every aspect of life. Basically, it's really simple. You go for a free consultation and say, this is where I am, this is where I want to be in terms of what kind of life you're looking for in the future. Some of us near future, some of us far future. And she can help plug you into the correct expert. And it may be a trust attorney, maybe a CPA, maybe John Wright, who is an expert in the stock market. That's going to be your title.
Yes, he is. He definitely is. So if
He's a
you have a portfolio and you'd like an evaluation done, just give us a call at 901-508-2433. We can put you in touch with John. You can come to our office. It's a no-cost consultation, and it could truly save you thousands of dollars if you think about where you are and where you want to go and what you want to protect. We kind of just look at oversee a bird's eye view of your situation.
And the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
Give us some of those numbers that you.
No, I'm not going to cite those numbers.
Well, you guys will have to get his book, but John literally has made a lot of money in the stock market. I trust him. He's a good person, and
here's the one that caught my attention. He took 31,000 and grew it into more than 400,000 in less than 10 years. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so there you go.
And
so
John,
the book is available on Amazon.
Right. It's called "You Know Nothing About Picking Stocks, and That's okay by John Wright.
And that's for the do-it-yourselfer. If you're not a do-it-yourselfer and you want someone else to do it for you, that's where I come in as well.
That's what you do.
So I kind of
Right.
I could do.
Yeah.
So you are very closely watching the coronavirus situation.
Absolutely.
Number one problem is that you strongly suspect, as do many experts who are familiar with China, that China is underreporting.
Right.
They are reacting with more urgency than the numbers they have reported indicate. Has the market seen any kind of reactions so far? What's the market?
The market
feeling?
doesn't. The market. This is going to sound very cold, but the market doesn't care about the lives.
Oh, great!
The market doesn't care about the lives. The market cares about supply chain disruption, about people freaking out, and the impact on the global economy. And the Chinese economy estimates run from a 2% hit to a 6% hit is what I'm seeing so far.
Is that a lot?
To their economy. Well, there's then a spillover effect to the world economy, which some people are saying up to a 2% hit to the GDP of the world. And that's
a
enough
lot,
to,
isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's enough to get people to take notice, and that assumes that they have contained the virus. That's where the underreporting becomes a little significant, right? Are they really containing this virus, or what many people are saying is the numbers they're reporting right now? That's really just that reflects their limitations on testing. They only can test 3,000 cases a day, so
Right.
what do you know? They're reporting about 3,000 cases a day.
Okay.
A lot's going unreported. But don't freak out about that. Don't panic, despite everything we've said in the first half of this show.
Don't sell yet.
Well, let me share a story about my brother, who likes to, of course, call me for stock advice.
Yeah, sure.
And so a few months ago, I told him to buy some Intel. Okay, and he called me up a week ago Friday during this panic sell-off, and he said, John, Intel's going down. Now, Intel had gone up significantly since then. He made a lot of money. He said, I'm giving back a good portion of my gains.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do? I want to sell it. I said, well, I'm not blessing your sell decision, Mark. He said, well, I'm going to sell it. I can't.
You didn't tell him to buy more?
He said, no, I didn't tell him to buy more. Actually, what I said well, I will only bless your sell decision if you tell me you're replacing it with a gold miner to give you added protection on the downside.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I'll bless it, but otherwise I'm not blessing your sells. He said, well, I want to sell it, then I'm going to buy more after the market goes down. Right? How many times have you heard that?
Oh my gosh.
I said, Mark, most people who try that are not successful. That's called market timing, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And what happens is you're going to be too freaked out at the bottom. You're going to miss it. The market's going to rebound, and then you're going to buy in higher.
Yeah.
So, of course, he sold it. 2 market days later, market's rebounding. He calls me up. John, Intel's going up. I want to buy some.
Oh, no.
I said, Mark, stop chasing the market. Stop chasing the market.
That never works.
It never works, right? So you can't be timing. You can't panic out on these 600-point down days.
Should the thing people should do more than anything is keep some money somewhere, somehow, so that you'll be in position to buy?
Yeah, one of my chapters talks about always having something to sell.
Right.
So I was talking with you before the show about that 600-point down day and how, despite my significant concerns about the pandemic and the spillover to the stock market, on that 600-point down day, I was buying, even though every fiber of my being wanted to sell. right?
But you put it in your computer.
But fortunately, I had a lot of stocks that were defensively. I had a lot of money defensively positioned, and so I had something to sell when the market went down 600 and made a profit on those sales.
Okay.
And then I
turned it around.
And I turned around, bought it when everyone else was selling.
Okay.
And then
so you got a bargain.
over the next few days, and since then, those investments have done great. So you have to be counter to the market, right? Some of your listeners right now are maybe panicking. They might think every fiber in their beings are telling them to sell. Don't do it, but look at your portfolio and make sure that you are diversified. Make sure that you are positioned so that you do have something to sell if tomorrow we have another 600-point down day.
Now, how would you identify how would you identify what is in your portfolio that you'll be able to sell? Something that's in this situation where you're watching a specific.
Well, let's talk about within the portfolio and within the stock portfolio, and then let's talk about your overall portfolio. Because for most people, you should not be 100% invested in the market. The traditional portfolio theory would say you should have some stocks and some bonds, and we can talk about this more later, but kind of a 60-40 mix, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, and in that scenario, you may end up not selling any of your stocks. You might sell your bonds and repurpose that money to buy on those 600-point down days. Gotcha. And we'll talk more about that. We could talk more about that in a little bit. But within the portfolio, within the stock portfolio, you need a mix of companies, some of which you have high confidence will go up on down days. I mentioned a gold miner earlier. Okay. Utility companies are also very defensive and do well on significant down days because they carry a high dividend, and that helps protect. And what typically will happen on a down day like that is the bond market interest rates will go down, and that means that the utility stocks with a high dividend are relatively more attractive.
Gotcha.
And so they might actually go up. You can make money on down days. It's not easy, but it is doable.
Okay, so you need some of that.
You need some of that, so you always have something you can sell. Now, and you can read about this in my book, but what I do is I do regression modeling of a large universe of stocks and assign a score to every company that tells me what's the likelihood that company is going to do well on a 600-point down day.
That's your algorithm that
that's
you created.
That's one of my models that I use when I make every buy and sell decision.
You talk about, and this may be completely off the subject, but I don't know what it is, a black swan. What is a black swan?
A black swan. So a black swan is a term used in the market to reflect a significant but unpredictable event.
Which would be this?
As opposed to a white swan, which is the normal, right? All of a sudden, going along, all the white swans are popping out, and all of a sudden there's a black swan. Hey, how'd that happen?
An anomaly.
It's an anomaly, but the key factor is they're impossible to predict. A pandemic is a black swan.
And that's
it's impossible to predict. War is oftentimes, or an assassination. President assassinated, that's a black swan event.
Gotcha.
Right? The market reacts to it, but you can't predict those things. You need to be positioned so that regardless of the black swan, you're going to have something to sell.
Okay.
Because you can't predict it ahead of time, right?
It's the unpredictability, right, that makes the market crazy. So are you surprised that we have not seen the market being crazy?
I'm surprised that it has not gone down more, but like I said earlier, I hold those emotions in check and will still invest opposite to that to keep a balanced portfolio.
I wish I were him, because I'm telling you.
And for those of you who are out there thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
Yeah, call John, because you clearly don't know what you're doing.
We have a $100,000 minimum on John's portfolios. So if you got $10,000, you do not need to be in the stock market, period. You do not have enough money to lose, so don't do it. We have other options for you. We have the IUL, we have fixed index annuities, we have all those things that let you participate in the market. when the market goes up, you go up. If the market goes down, you stay the same and keep your gains.
Right.
Okay, resets every year. So for those of you who have a lot in the market, you really need to talk to John, because he also has a chapter in his book called, what is the monkey chapter?
The monkey chapter.
The monkey. What's it called? It's a monkey. It's a monkey theory or something.
Which chapter
What
is that in? There's not a chapter
it's like-
dedicated to monkeys.
Okay. I remember this
You
chapter,
remember that?
but I
it's
don't
like
remember
a
the
monkey
name
throwing
either.
darts.
Might have been
at-
diversification, but
Yeah, it's the
So tell
dart
us about
throwing.
that.
So this was, it started out as a thought experiment. No one has really put monkeys in a room and armed them with darts, but that's a way of saying a randomly picked portfolio will actually outperform the average expert.
Which is by itself frightening.
Partly because there are a lot of small stocks in the universe, and that monkey is more likely to hit a small stock and therefore has a better shot of it going up over time. And part of it is due to just human nature, that we always make the wrong decisions. We non-Wall Street human beings, but also Wall Street professionals.
Right.
They also underperform.
It's based on emotion and greed and a lot of different things, insider information. You have so many aspects going on.
Well, and as much as you know about the market and as many years as you've had experience with it, you yourself were talking about you had to act counter
Absolutely
to what your human nature.
Yeah, some of the
told you
best
to
in the
do.
business. I'm a big fan of Jim Cramer.
Mm-hmm.
He's fantastic. Has a daily hour-long show on CNBC.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. He's a genius, and yet he has a tough time outperforming the market, right? Because he's human like the rest of us.
Do you do better if you're an engineer type personality? Because weren't you? Didn't we discuss this last time you were here?
I think it helps me, but I can't make a statement like that. I mean, people are people. We
Cold,
all
unfeeling.
Yeah, that's me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Retarded.
There you go.
But seriously,
Detailed.
Yeah, because I would think if you you have more trouble approaching things dispassionately in
Yes,
general,
I think that is a challenge.
you would be.
I think my hunch is that actors probably make bad investors.
Yeah.
That's just my hunch.
Right.
I have no statistics on that topic.
Very appropriate given the Oscars last night.
There we go.
So what's the takeaway, the biggest takeaway for, let's say, for both that smaller investor? Because I would say 10,000, yeah, but what if it's even 50,000 can be a small amount of money if you're talking about.
Let's go back to that 60-40 portfolio.
Okay.
Right, 60% equity, 40%, and you can, if you got 10,000, you can invest it in a life insurance policy. You can invest it in index funds, are very popular and not an unreasonable
Even
choice,
Warren
right?
Buffett likes index funds.
And
you know.
low fees, easy to invest in. You
and
still
you
have
can make some money. You can have some.
You
growth.
can. You still have the same challenges of being human, right?
Mhm.
And having your emotions play tricks on you. So they also have balanced funds, like VBAL-X is a Vanguard balanced fund, which I think is very appropriate for a lot of individuals.
Okay.
That automatically rebalances between bonds and stocks to keep that kind of 60-40. I don't know what their target ratio is, but 60-40 mix.
Okay.
And they handle everything, so you don't have to worry about it. I think that's a very reasonable option for a small investor. But here's the problem with that 60-40 traditional portfolio, which, by the way, during the 600-point down day, the bond portion of that portfolio did well.
So it balanced.
So it did what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
Right. That's the good news. The bad news is high uncertainty regarding whether it will continue to do what it's supposed to do. So the theory is stocks go down, bonds go up.
Right.
Bonds go
And
up,
vice versa.
meaning interest rates go down, but the price of the bond goes up, and so the value of your bond half goes up. That's great. It's worked out generally that way over the years. The problem is interest rates have gotten so low that there's not a lot of decline left in interest rates.
Right.
Okay.
And so that
may stop being so true.
That's right. It all relies on one number. The portfolio. How can I say this? for the lion's share of Americans, they are, whether they know it or not, they're relying on the relationship between stocks and bonds. They're relying on one number. It's called the correlation coefficient. If stocks do X, what are bonds going to do? If stocks go up, are bonds going to go down? That one relationship drives portfolio theory for trillions of dollars of invested assets.
Okay.
And you can track that number over time. That number, in general, is not as highly correlated as it used to be. I'm sorry.
Is that bad?
It used to be, let me rephrase that. It used to be inversely correlated. Right. That inverse correlation, which is helpful to investors, is generally not there. It did help out the last week or two because interest rates went down. But going forward, that relationship may not, probably will not hold forever.
So that means we're in uncharted territory.
Exactly.
It means people are in trouble with the balancing and they don't know it yet.
Oh, great.
Well, and the sad part is, you know,
I
you've
feel
gotta,
better.
Like he says 60-40. Well, my question to a lot of people is, when are you going to retire? As you get closer to retirement, you don't want to be 60% in stocks, 40% in bonds or safe instruments. You really have to start, you know, shrinking the amount that you put at risk, at least until we've had this downside that people say is coming. And let's say we have a melt up or we have a downside. You know, you need to say, okay, how much time do I have to recover from a down market?
Yeah.
And how much do I have risk inside there? It's not all or nothing. I've never said that it's all or nothing.
Right.
But just like John said, there is no more inverse relationship right now to bonds and stocks the way that it used to be.
Right.
Because interest rates are so low, and they are predicted to stay low because our government can't afford to pay a higher interest rate on the debt that we have.
So there are just so many variables that here's what you need to do. Here's really what you need to remember. 901-508-2433, right?
Just
and
call us.
Make an appointment and sit down because everybody's situation is different. Whether it's, you know.
That's right.
So I know you're probably like, I'm in a panic. Don't panic. Don't do anything except call that number, make an appointment, sit down and discuss it and see where you are, whether you're a small investor. There might be some better things for you to do than what you're doing right now. If you're a large investor, no doubt there's some things you can do.
To look on the bright side, for 1 second, close on a good note, right?
Please.
Change means opportunity,
Yes.
right? So you can listen to the segment and say, well, I'm just going to panic and pull all my money out like my brother did with his Intel stock. Okay.
Not a good plan.
I hope he
Not a
doesn't
good
listen
plan.
to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may not share it with him.
Yeah.
It can always serve as a bad example.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna miss out on the balance and the good times.
Right.
So what I tell people is, for example, if you're going to invest money with me, invest it now because it takes time to process that, and by the time it's ready to go, you need to have your finger on the trigger, ready to pull it.
Right.
And then when you do, make sure it's a diversified portfolio.
But you're there to help, so they don't have to think about that.
That's right.
They don't have to think about
I
it.
just need a navigator.
Yeah.
So that's what John is. And thank heavens that is also what Renee is in so many different ways. AAALifeSolutions.com, 508-2433, area code 901. We will be right back.
We'll be right back with more of the Mary Beth Conley Show on KWAM The Voice.
This is Clark Howard with a special warning from the FBI. There are a number of e-commerce sites run by a variety of types of industries. Retailers, airlines, clothing sellers, even ticket-selling sites for concerts and events that have been compromised by crooks. And when you input your number into the payment box, that is being captured by the crooks. So we don't even know all the sites that have been hit by this attack. But here's what you should know. Number one recommendation, never, ever use a debit card shopping online. Too much risk to the money you have in your checking account. Second, if you have a credit card that gives you access to disposable numbers, that gives you a different number each time you go somewhere to shop, that's the safest way for you to protect your money.
I had a lady that was in her mid-70s, and I'd sold her timeshare. And that was the lowest I'd ever felt in my life. I knew then that I had to do something to simply not to go to hell for selling timeshare.
Chuck McDowell founded Wesley Financial Group to help folks cancel their timeshares permanently.
Called her and everybody that I'd sold timeshare to, and I said, this is what I said to you that was a lie, and this is what you need to do to cancel your timeshare. From that point, people started referring friends to me to help them cancel a timeshare, and that's how it all started. I fought the world's largest timeshare company in federal court. If I had lost that lawsuit, there would be no one helping people that have been lied to when they bought timeshare. If we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or we'll give your money back. That's what makes us different.
Call Wesley Financial Group now for a free information kit. 800-642-8855. That's 800-642-8855. 800-642-8855.
Moms, are you pregnant and ready to quit smoking? Baby and Me Tobacco Free is a program offered through the Shelby County Health Department that helps moms quit smoking during pregnancy and provides them with free diapers for up to 12 months if they remain tobacco free. Quitting smoking is the best thing that you can do for the health of you and your baby. The biggest reason to quit is the smallest. For more information on the Baby and Me Tobacco Free program and other tobacco cessation resources, call the Shelby County Health Department at 901-222-9268.
The Mary Beth Conley Show on KWAM, FM 107.9, and AM 990.
It's time for Make Dinner Great Again on the Mary Beth Conley Show, brought to you by Kroger, official grocer of the Memphis in May International Festival. Your dinner will always be great when you bring it home from Kroger or have them do the shopping for you at Kroger.com. And while Kroger has everything to do with dinner, today's trivia has nothing to do with food. The only way it has anything to do with dinner is that your dinner will not be boring. John, you'll be able to say, guess what I learned today about umbrellas? There you go. Today is National Umbrella Day, most appropriate because the weather stinks out there. We've got Renee Kennedy, who is the founder of AAA Life Solutions, website by the same name. Her number is 901-508-2433. And you should do what I did. You should call her and sit down for your free consultation and say, here's where I am, and here is where I would like to be. And she can connect you with any number of her professionals who can help get you there. And I'm telling you what, it has worked for me. I sleep a whole lot better at night. And John Wright is one of those professionals she works with. He is the author of You Know Nothing About Picking Stocks, and that's okay. But he is, not because of this book, it's really what he is that led him to this book. He is a stock picking expert.
Yeah, he is. And he's a good man. So, you know, it's a great combination when you have somebody who is, I won't say he's a genius, but he's pretty smart.
Pretty darn close, because I know we're not supposed to.
I know, don't tell him I said that. But
we don't promise returns, but 30% is the average that he gets, because he's got an algorithm that he's created. So it's just pretty amazing. We've been talking about the pandemic or potential pandemic.
Set expectations. 30% is what I did in that portfolio. 30% is not what you should expect.
No,
right?
You're right, because that's the disclaimer that we have to make. But I'm just saying, pretty good. You look at history to predict the future. I'm sorry I said it. I know I'm not supposed to.
That's okay.
So, we don't have a pandemic yet, but the coronavirus is certainly concerning. And so next week we're going to talk more on the positive side of things, because you have to be, you always have to have something to sell so that you can enjoy the fruits of the bad news. Is that a good way to put it?
How about enjoy the natural volatility of the market?
There you go. So we're going to talk about that next week.
Okay, that
I
didn't
think
sound,
that's
that sound like
an oxymoron right there. How do you enjoy the volatility of the market? That's an engineer. Okay.
That's an engineer. But that's been a very good thing for his portfolio.
Oh, and we do have umbrellas. Let me see that little thing over there.
Yeah, this is so cool.
It's National Umbrella Day. So any of our clients get this cool little umbrella, but go ahead with your trivia.
Well, here's the 30 seconds to ask a question. In what country were umbrellas invented? John, you first.
Well, I would guess a country full of rain.
Yes.
Maybe England.
That's a very good answer. It is incorrect.
Japan.
Oh, you're closer.
China.
The one we've been talking about. Did you know that? Umbrellas were invented in China in 21 CE. So there you go. We'll see you tomorrow.
Wow.
KWAM, your news and information station, with CBS News updates every hour